Welcome back to Sustainable Living with Shilpa Reddy, powered by Planet Green's Farm Natura, a new beginning to your life. What started as a quest of a mother to give pure A2 milk for her children has turned to a great movement bringing revolution in the country. Today, on yet another episode of Dates County Nature's Tycoon, I have with me Divya Reddy, who has been working relentlessly for the cause of safeguarding our Desi cows and also reached the Supreme Court for the same. Let's welcome the founder of Klimom, Divya Reddy, on my show. Hi Divya, welcome to my show. I have known of what you've been doing from many years, and I see there is an incredible passion behind what you do. What drove you to do what you're doing right now, and how did you start this venture, and why and how did you get all that passion to drive this forward?
Namaste Shilpa, it's my pleasure to be here, and I must say you're doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
Your song on Save Soil is really touching and an inspiration to many.
Oh my God, thank
And
you.
you from being Miss Andhra to Miss India, Mrs. India, Mrs. India, you have always proved yourself beyond those years.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for such generous
pleasure.
compliments.
No. You are like that, you know, we have to say that.
Thank you again. It's not easy for a lot of people to generously compliment, and thank you. It felt so genuine and from your heart. Thank
No, my pleasure.
So, your passion behind this venture?
I can say that there's a saying, Shilpa, you don't choose a cow, cow chooses you.
Oh, really?
Now, when I look back, I feel that cow chose me to do this.
Really?
Because when I was young, I don't even remember touching a cow. But now me and my entire family are so much associated with cows. I mean, I very proudly say that cows are part of my family.
That's how it all started in our culture, and you
Exactly.
saying it is just reinstating. And tell me how you were chosen by the cow, please.
It all started in 2014, like when I read few articles about adulteration in milk. That is when I had to think about really what milk am I giving to my kids. Then I did some small research and everything where I came to know that A2 milk is healthy. And A2 milk is nothing but our Desi cow milk.
Okay.
And shockingly, I could find none. There were no providers of A2 milk.
Oh, this was 2014.
2014.
In Hyderabad, there was no
No
A2 milk.
providers of A2 milk.
Really?
That
Okay.
is when it hit me really hard. You know, I felt like, you know, we don't get our own breed cows in our country. But we get European cow milk, European cow breeds milk. So that is when I started in 2015 with just 10 cows. I thought, you know, I can use that milk for my kids and do cow-based farming with cow dung and cow urine.
Okay.
And of course, with 10 cows, I had some extra excess milk, which I gave for my friends and family. And that is how it started spreading. You know, more people started asking. So 10 became 30, 30 became 50, 100, and now we are at 250.
Wow, you have 250 cows?
Yeah, now we are at 250.
Do they all have names?
Most of them. Most of them have names, but even I get confused.
Right.
Yeah,
There's
but
so
most
many.
of them have names.
As an intention to get into business, it was more to kind of give, you know, the nutritious milk to your own family, and it just started and became the, you know, the industry or the business it is today.
Yeah.
I also heard and remember you saying that you inspired 15 more people to start such milk businesses. I mean, I don't know if I have to call it a business because now I don't feel like calling it one.
Yeah.
But what was the objective behind it?
It's never a business for me, Shilpa, and it was never and it will never be a business for me. And when we talk about passion, I can say that, you know, cows have that power to pull us towards them. They do so much to us.
Right.
And you know, we get calls from clients, like, you know, a call from a mother who is unable to breastfeed her child, asking for Klimom A2 milk for her child, and, you know, messages and calls from patients' family saying that this milk is not just milk but acting as a medicine for them.
Wow.
These kind of messages, they really motivate me. They make me feel I would not have been this happy nor satisfied doing anything else in my life in
Right.
spite of being an engineering graduate.
Right.
So when you talk about passion, I would like to say a few lines on cows. I mean, most of the questions you have will be answered in these lines.
Okay.
But I don't know why somehow I could write those lines in Hindi.
Okay.
And those lines really mean a lot to me. I mean,
Okay.
if it's okay for you, I can.
Yeah, please share.
कृष्ण की सखी है वो, कृष्ण की सखी है वो, महादेव का वाहन है उसका साथी, समस्त देवी और देव इन्हीं में बसते हैं, मातों की माता है वो, ऐसे दिव्य जीवी को भगवान ने हम मनुष्य जाति को उपहार दी है, वो कहलाती है गाय, गौ माता, कामधेनु। कितने मूर्ख होंगे हम मनुष्य जो ऐसे गाय को खो रहे हैं। गाय तो हमेशा हमारे आंगन में रह के हमारा सुख दुख बांटती थी, थोड़ा सा घास क्या देते थे हम उसको, वो तो पूरा जीवन हम पे अर्पण करती है, जन्म से लेके मरण तक हमारी सेवा करती है वो। उसका दूध तो अमृत है ही है, व्यर्थ भी ऐसी देती है जो हम मनुष्य को अमृत के समान है। उसका व्यर्थ से ही तो हमारा मिट्टी उपजाऊ बनती है जिसमें हमारा रोजी रोटी उगता है।
वाओ।
खेती में तो हमसे ज़्यादा श्रम वो करती थी। कितने मूर्ख होंगे हम मनुष्य जो ऐसे गाय को खेती से निकाल के विषपूर्वक कीटनाशक से खेती कर रहे, जिसका फल आज इतने सारे बीमारी के रूप में हमारे सामने है।
Right.
बहुत खो चुके हम भारतीय, अपने गाय को नहीं खोएंगे।
Wow.
Let's get back India to our sacred Indian cows.
That's exactly, I think this encapsulated everything that I was going to ask you, but how beautifully you put this together. Actually, it's overwhelming because
Thank you so much.
it was so beautifully put together. And as you rightly said, cow is a sacred animal. And it is also said that it is an animal that is very close to human emotions. Like if someone cries in the house, the cow also sheds tears for you.
Yes.
So that is the level of emotional development that the cow has.
Yes. And they would always say when somebody is sick in the house, not now, maybe in the olden days, when somebody is sick in the house, because you touch it,
Correct.
it knows what is less in your body. And when it goes for grazing, they would go in forest and graze around, eat
Right.
herbs and everything. It carries everything in her body, and when you milk the cows and when you drink that milk, all those are transferred into your body and you get cured.
So it's a very intelligent animal as well.
Yeah, so that's
Wow.
what I say. And
So I was asking as to what was the objective behind encouraging 15 other people to do what you're doing?
so when I reached this 100 cows, that is when I felt that, this is something which if I do alone will not be fulfilled. So more and more people should start something like which I am doing.
Right.
So that is when we started doing awareness programs. We did through social media, we traveled a lot. We started educating, inspiring and helping people to start farms with Desi cows instead of hybrid cows. My first clients, whom I had 7 years ago, now they own at least 3-4 cows in their farms.
That's wonderful.
They use that milk for their family and cow dung and cow urine for farming.
Okay.
And most of my clients also started farms with 100, 200 cows.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are big numbers.
That really makes me happy. That's what I really wanted.
Yeah, you
So
had created an impact and it's only growing.
Yeah.
So how, I want you to tell the viewers as to how different is A2 milk to what we normally consume. The one which comes in pouches, the one which comes in cartons.
Yeah. So this is one point, while creating awareness also, this was very difficult for us in the beginning because for us, the milk is divided into only 2 categories, buffalo milk and cow milk.
Correct.
And we don't even know, in cow milk we have 2 things, milk from our Desi cows and milk from hybrid cows. Milk
Right.
from our Desi cows is categorized as A2 milk.
Right.
And milk from hybrid cows is A1 milk. And A1 milk has a component called BCM7 which causes many diseases including cancers, and this has been proven also.
Okay.
And A2 milk is proven to be healthy all over the world. Remember, our ancestors would always say, give cow milk to kids.
Correct.
They
Absolutely.
always meant Desi cow milk.
Desi cow milk.
And maybe we neglected them or misunderstood them with European cow, hybrid cow milk.
Right.
But now when Europeans come back and say to us, when Western people come and say to us that A2 milk is healthy, that is when we take things seriously and start believing them.
That is sad.
Not just in this case,
Everything.
in everything, you know, we have been practicing many things since ages.
Absolutely.
We don't believe them or trust them. And Western people come and prove to us, that is when we say, oh yeah, we would do that before.
It is sad, but I think it's slowly changing because now they're talking about curcumin, haldi, they're talking about neem now, they're talking about moringa powder now, which every house had a moringa plant at one point. So great. I want you to tell young entrepreneurs as to what possibilities do they have in this industry that could be lucrative, at the same time that could add value to the nourishment of the society. So what would you say to the young entrepreneurs?
There are many byproducts which you can do with that.
Okay.
If we focus just on milk, it might be a little difficult. So we have to focus on byproducts like ghee, butter and curd, and also the cow dung.
Right.
Manure, we can make doop sticks. All these are natural products. Doop sticks, there are many products which we can make out of cow dung. So if we make it into an entire thing, that is when we can see profits.
Okay. Yeah, so that's and also it comes under a sustainable business category.
Yeah.
At the same time, giving the right kind of nourishment. And tell me, what are the nutrient levels? How different are the nutrient levels when compared to A2 and the other A1?
A2 is a protein in the milk. So A2 protein is a good protein.
Okay.
So our Desi cow's milk, it gives A2 protein, so which is healthy for us. That is why they say that A2 milk is healthy.
Okay. And how important is it for cows to be on the farm?
We can say that, the moment we took out cows from farms, the day we stopped cow-based farming by introducing machinery, fertilizers and pesticides, that is the day we can say soil extension started.
Right.
Soil needs some life. Until 50 years ago, what our farmers were doing was natural farming, cow-based farming.
Right.
Which is nothing but organic farming. Organic farming is not a new subject for us.
Absolutely not. You're right.
Soil needs that life. 100 grams of cow dung has 1 million microbes in it.
Wow.
And soil needs those microbes to rejuvenate.
Right.
But by using fertilizers, pesticides and machinery, we are killing that life from soil.
Which is actually the nourishment for the crops.
Exactly. We are killing it directly. And so what we say that save cows to save soil. We need cows to save our soil.
To be on the farm and save soil.
Yeah.
And since I've been actively a part of Save Soil movement, it is said that what we eat there's nothing in what we eat. So 90% of nourishment has come down because there are no microorganisms that are the reason for the crops to grow, and cattle being the main source of that organisms. So bringing back cattle onto the farms is crucial at this point.
That is the only solution is what I feel.
Okay. Recently you sent us on WhatsApp to sign the petition that you were appealing to Supreme Court to save Desi cows. Like, how bad is the situation and why did you have to take this drastic step to appeal to Supreme Court?
So as you know, Shilpa, we have been doing awareness programs in 7 years, and we have been traveling extensively all through the country. We know the situation of the Desi cows.
Okay.
So in villages, the situation of our Desi cows is far worse than what we expected.
Oh really? In rural areas it's worse than what it used to be?
Yeah, because all our Desi cows are artificially inseminated with hybrid semen.
Okay.
Which is leading to the mass extinction of our breeds.
Okay.
So in our country, the cow population is divided into 3 categories.
Okay.
One is hybrid cows, which hold 26% of the total cow population.
Okay.
The second one is this is all according to the government statistics.
Okay.
And the second one is non-descript indigenous cows.
Okay.
So these are indigenous cows, but we don't know which breed do they exactly belong to. And they hold majority of the population, that is 52% of the population.
This could be mixed up breeds.
Yeah, Desi breeds, but mixed up. And they
okay.
hold 52% of the population. So all the breeding policies are encouraging artificial insemination of our Desi cows with hybrid semen. So within no time, all these 52% cattle will be converted into hybrid cows.
Oh, yeah, naturally, yes.
Naturally. And the third thing is that indigenous cows, descript indigenous cows. These are so-called indigenous cows, but they are again divided into 2 categories, graded and pure.
Okay.
So we don't know exactly how many pure bred cows we have now.
Okay.
And according to the 2021 census, 2 crore hybrid semen has been given and only 50 lakh Desi semen has been given. This shows that at what rate we are losing our breeds.
The Desi cow.
There are many debates saying that we are encouraging hybrid semen because they produce more milk.
More milk.
But there are many proofs to prove that our Desi cows produce equal amount as hybrid cow or even more amount of milk than hybrid cows.
But what's the point of quantity when you have issues drinking that milk or have so many
say,
ailments?
we have to match the population. So even for
but
that,
would you give poison to people just because they want to?
But even to match to that, we have that proofs to say that since 1970, if
so
we
you're
would
saying Desi cows can also give as much?
Of course, there are many proofs to prove that also. If we would have encouraged our Desi cows since 1970, instead of introducing European breeds, our cow situation would not be like this.
Okay.
And there are there are many breeds like Sahiwal, Rati, Kher, Ongol, which even now they produce equal amount of milk as a hybrid cow.
Oh.
And at least now we should learn lesson from Sri Lanka. The whole Sri Lankan dairy industry collapsed because of Australian and New Zealand breeds. It's like more people should be aware of what's happening to Desi cows, and this is also one of the awareness thing. There's nothing which we will get out of the number of signs.
More to create awareness.
And we will nothing out of. We cannot even take that and show. See, we got so many signs. Nothing at all.
Oh, it doesn't really. Why do the people do it then? I thought this actually shows how much support you have from people.
No, it's just that more people should know.
Awareness. It's more to create awareness.
Yeah, Manaki, I think that's the only reason, because Supreme Court fight is happening for us, and Supreme Court has even issued notices. So now they'll get back with their own answers. Then again, we have to file our answer.
yeah, of course.
To protect our national heritage, to safeguard our cows, I had to approach Supreme Court.
Wow.
And Supreme Court had issued notices to both central and the state government animal husbandry departments.
Wow, you're doing incredible work. I don't know what to say, but as you rightly spoke, at the rate we might lose our indigenous variety is scary. And it was also said that India at one point had the most number of breeds, and that too something that no other country could match up to. Is that true?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And we are losing on to them. Now we don't even know how many pure breeds we have.
We are left. Okay.
We are left with. At least now we have to safeguard them.
So Divya, I recently got a forward from you on change.org. I think you're addressing this issue and creating awareness about Desi cows. So how can the viewers help you in this aspect?
So this is also one of the awareness things, Shilpa. So we want more people to know what's happening to Desi cows, how we are losing their breeds.
Okay.
So that is why we filed this petition on change.org. We have received very good, we almost received 20,000 signs now.
Okay, wow.
So share as much as possible. So that more people will be aware of the problem.
Okay, it's on your Instagram page, the link, they can go.
Yeah, it's on Klimom Instagram page.
They can lend their support, and that's how we want to create awareness.
Yes.
Super. We'll do that. So, how is your sanitation process after milking the cow?
When we first milk the cow, I mean, in my farm, the first day when we milk the cow, that was the first time I saw that procedure.
Do you milk it? Can you milk a cow?
I can't. I tried it.
Okay.
I could not.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. So when we did that, the milk was still warm and really fresh. I did not want to impair that by even thinking about a pouch.
A plastic pouch.
Yeah. So I wanted to, the only way I wanted to take that milk to my kids was either in a glass bottle or a steel bottle. So from that day, I have been only using steel or glass to deliver. The milk bottles which comes to my house for my kids, the same bottles goes to my clients' places also.
I get them too. So I know.
Yeah, the same bottles. Yeah.
How do you take care of your cows? Like, meaning, how often do you have to deworm them? How often do you have to send them for a health checkup? And what happens? How do you know when a cow falls sick?
We do have a vet all the time, but
Okay.
that's the difference between a hybrid cow and Desi cow, Shilpa.
Okay.
These are our local cows. They're
Okay.
very much resistant to diseases.
Oh.
They're very immune. They usually never get sick, but of course it's common. They might feel little ill a day. The only thing they do is that they don't eat that day. You know, they stop chewing.
Right.
They don't eat that day. 2 days they take rest. The third day they're fine.
Wow.
They're fine. But if there is something, we do have a vet, and if necessary, we do use medications, but that's a very rare case.
So there's so many stories on cows, like in our Hindu texts, and it is called Goddess Lakshmi wealth. Why do you think that is?
Until and unless we stop looking at cow as a religious symbol, we will not be able to think in the right direction. We will not understand the value of cows.
Correct.
We will not understand the importance of cows to the human life. Of course, yes, there are many things written about cows in our Vedas, Puranas, Shastras, history and science also.
Right.
It's not necessary for everybody to believe in what's written in Vedas and Puranas, but they can at least believe what science says and what history says and
Right.
what's scientifically proven.
Right.
So when we focus on history, thousands of years ago, Mauryan Empire, Ashoka pillar carries our bull. So
Okay.
knowing the importance of our bull, they might have given that honor. And now, 1000 years later, we have chosen it as our national emblem. Not to forget, national emblem is a symbol to officialize any government action. It's there everywhere. It's there on our currency, on our government buildings, on Supreme Court,
Right.
everywhere. By introducing European bulls, we have already insulted our bulls,
That's
which
right.
has so much of history. And now, by not acting at the right time, if we lose our breeds, are we even ready to change our national emblem,
Right. That's
which
a
has
question.
so much of history? Are we
Absolutely.
ready to do that? Instead, protect our breeds.
Right.
And when we talk about science, of course, it's scientifically proven that A2 milk is healthy. And Charles Darwin, who was a famous scientist who spoke about origin of species,
Right.
he even spoke about our Desi cows. When we believe,
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So when we believe everything what he, and when we read and do, when we believe whatever he said, why don't we believe what he said about our Desi cows?
Right.
Our Desi cows and hybrid cows are completely different.
Different.
And most importantly, our Desi cows are Bos indicus.
What is
And
that?
Bos indicus, the DNA. Our
Okay,
Desi cows
okay.
are Bos indicus and
Okay.
hybrid cows are Bos taurus. They are completely different. How can you cross Bos taurus with Bos indicus? It's against nature. You
This is something new to me. Wow.
Yeah, you cannot cross Bos taurus with Bos indicus. Both have completely different DNA.
Heard about this, and thank you for sharing this. And when you said Vedas and Puranas, Vedas are scientific findings. Just because they're written, by us, it's not that it's only religious or something like that.
Yeah.
They say Vedas are nothing but findings of how the universe works.
Exactly.
That's about it. And what you said is absolutely right. If scientifically it's proven, like we should, have the reverence and respect for that,
Exactly.
and not look at cow And its importance in the religious,
Yeah, because when you think of that
side.
way, you will not understand the real importance of it.
You will block it.
You will block it.
Yeah. You become, prejudiced.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just separate them and try and see.
Once you remove the religion out of a cow, if you see cow for what it is and how it can impact human life, it's a great thing and we must protect that.
Yeah, that is when we will really understand the value of a cow.
Right, absolutely.
And in olden days, we never raised a cow for milk. Milk was always a free component.
Right.
We raised them for a more important reason, that is for farming.
Farming.
Every house would have cows.
Correct.
Every house would have cows. They would only count on number of cows each family would have. That is how they would say, I'm richer than you.
Yes.
I have 300
It's
cows.
the wealth.
I have
Oh yeah,
500
that's
cows.
the wealth of the house. Absolutely.
That was the wealth of the house.
And it fed your children, so it's the mother of the house, right?
And
like you said.
during marriages, they would send a cow with.
Even housewarming ceremonies.
Exactly.
So Divya, I was always curious, why the name Klimom?
Klim means rivers of milk, Shilpa.
Okay.
We always wanted to reverse that fear of milk.
Oh.
Because of the adulteration and everything, everybody are scared of the word milk.
Correct. In fact, I stopped it until you started sending us the milk.
So that is one. Klim, and there is Om.
Okay.
So Klim is also a Bija mantra.
Right.
Klim and Om. So I found it, somewhere it touched me. And also rivers of milk, and there is mom in it. So too many things in one place, but somehow
It resonated
yeah.
with you. Wow. And can you elaborate on the magic of cow's manure? Other than, rejuvenating soil, what else? I heard that you can make an industry out of it. Any other ideas that you can think of using cow dung?
I can say I've been traveling all around India with this. I mean, when I was doing all this research. So in Gujarat, when I traveled, I met a community called Bharwad community.
Okay.
So what they do is that they only live on cows, their livelihood is completely on cows.
On cows.
So they don't have any home, they don't have any village, nothing. So they go take around cows and roam around village to village, village to village.
Wow.
So they have like 100 cows with them, and maybe their family is like around 10 or 15.
Okay.
And so they always stop in one village, and wherever they stop in one village, they take some land, and that land is given by the landowner free for them, because when the cows go around in that area, so with that urine and cow dung, his soil becomes fertile.
Oh.
So he gives that land for free. So
Okay.
they stay there for 1.5 months.
Okay.
They live in that village. They milk the cows. They just sell that kova. They do that kova in the evenings. They sell that kova. They get money and they sustain on that. They just live on nature. They live with nature. They
Wow.
never get sick. They never seen the face of a hospital.
Wow.
So even I interviewed them, it was like amazing. Just cows, them under nature.
And they just eat what the cow gives them.
Yeah, I mean they have milk and everything, and they get money from that, and maybe they live in villages, so they get everything fresh. They
Right.
cook there under the sky.
I
they
didn't
sleep
even know
under the sky.
there's a community like this who just live on cows without having a home and then travel around.
They
Wow.
travel around. They travel around Gujarat.
Okay. Wow, interesting. So there's so many uses from a cow.
Yeah.
I don't think we should look at it as uses, but then more with reverence.
Those lines as one answer, because many people would ask me different questions, and that really always felt like everything what cows does to us is there in
Right.
those lines.
So can you share that poem with us in English so we can probably insert it while...
I could write only in Hindi. I
Okay.
tried in English, but I could not get that feel.
No, what I'm saying is Hindi, but then type it out in English.
Oh yeah, I can do that for
You
you.
can share
I
it with
can
us
do that.
maybe.
Of course.
Anything else that you want to add?
And that is how I write. I don't know how to write in Hindi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't write Hindi. I can't write in Hindi. I can read a bit, but I can read, but it's
Oh,
like
wow,
very bad writing in Hindi. Even I write it in English, but Hindi.
Okay, interesting. So you're doing amazing work, Divya. Keep doing this and keep inspiring many. And I think how you started has, had such a ripple effect. And the best thing is the nourishment which our children are supposed to get from milk is happening because of little thing that you started and, which is spreading across. And I hope and wish that you succeed in appealing to Supreme Court to save our Desi cows and not dilute the breed like how you're talking about. So all the best to you. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
coming on my
much.
show. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hope you guys enjoyed watching this episode. Stay tuned for more inspiring stories. See you all next week. Signing off, Shilpa Reddy.